morning. It's Thursday, August 18th, and there's more good news today. And I'm not talking about primary elections or anything like that. I'm talking about the FDA, the Federal Drug Administration, which is a group of people who decide many things regarding our health. And they're very slow to come to a lot of decisions. So I don't know how long it took for them to make this decision, but this is a decision that will help many of my group. And my group is the elderly population in the United States. There are many in the elderly population of the United States who have trouble keeping food on their table. We are not very wealthy as a group. So this announcement from the FDA is monumental in my mind. The FDA has just come and announced that we can get hearing aids. That's right, hearing aids. So if you're not hearing me too well, just listen up. It's about hearing aids. And no longer will we be required to see an audiologist and get a prescription for our hearing aids. We'll be able to buy them over the counter. Now, I'm not sure where over the counter they'll come from, but I'm pretty sure they'll be in places like CVS and Rite Aid, and then maybe even in Walmart, or Target, or Costco. In any event, we will be able to buy hearing aids directly from a store or online. I'll tell you a little bit about my experience with hearing aids. I got my first set of hearing aids when I was in my early 60s, and I realized, because I was still working at the time, and I would have conference meetings, and I couldn't hear everything that everybody said at these meetings. So I recognized the fact that I needed hearing aids, and I was recommended to an audiologist, and I went to him, and he was a good guy, but very expensive. So my first set of hearing aids cost me over $6,000, right? And I went to this guy for a couple of years, and then for some reason or other, he decided that he was going to be doing something else and he wasn't available anymore. And I found another audiologist in Brentwood, and he was much less expensive than the first guy. And he was very good, and I got another set of hearing aids from him, and they were about $4,000 or something. And I continued to see him, but unfortunately he passed away and he was young. And then a couple of years ago, after I had retired and I was a member of the Y as usual, I found a gentleman who came into the Y and gave hearing aid tests to all of us. And I bought a set of hearing aids from him, and his name is Roy, and he's a gentleman. He lives down the block from me, actually. And his hearing aids are good, and he takes good care of me, and his hearing aids only cost $2,000. And of course I spend about $250 to have them insured, because if they get damaged or something and you have to have them reset, which has happened to me several times, Roy takes care of them. So I've gotten them inexpensively, for about the last 4 or 5 years, I guess, And so this is a wonderful thing as I look at it, because if they're going to be over the counter, I am hoping that we will be able to get them and have somebody service them at reasonable prices. And then I've seen over the years hearing aid ads that are very inexpensive, supposedly, But I never tried those. So I am really excited about the fact that the FDA has made this monumental, in my mind, decision about the hearing aid crisis. I would call it a crisis if you can't get them and you need them, but you can't afford them because you have to put food on the table. So this is going to help many people and beyond. This could be beyond the elderly. Because I saw something on YouTube this morning about a young child who was born deaf. And now this child, who comes from a family of not wealthy people, will be able to have his hearing aids at a reasonable price. And that's a frightening thing. Because I never thought about people who are born deaf or have an infirmary like that, or lose their hearing early in life. Because if you lose your hearing early in life, that's an expensive proposition. If you have to go 40 or 50 or 60 years buying hearing aids. So this decision by the FDA is going to impact in a good way the lives of many in this country. And I am hoping beyond hope, that these hearing aids will be high quality and relatively inexpensive. I would like to see them coming in at somewhere at $500 a pair or something like that. And I'm sure that knowing the way our country operates, somebody will come out and say, $99 down and $15 a month for the next 5 years and you will have hearing aids, or some deal like that, some kind of payment plan to get your hearing aids so that you don't have to fork over $1,000 or $1,500 or whatever these new hearing aids are going to cost. I'm very excited to see that. I'm very excited to see how much these hearing aids are going to cost. And I'll tell you one last story which my good friend Don tells me all the time, is that he goes to the VA and he says to them, he's having a problem with his hearing, and they look at him and they say, yes, you have a problem, but you have to wait 3 years. Because they don't give out hearing aids every year to people. So that'll disappear. Those kinds of situations are going to disappear. You need a set of hearing aids, you go get them. Nobody's going to tell you have to wait 3 years or 2 years or 5 years or whatever it is. So all in all, I think this is a monumental decision. It's a very good decision. And maybe it'll even affect the course of this country. Because many who do things incorrectly or inappropriately or raise beliefs based upon something they've heard or misheard, maybe there won't be so much confusion in this country anymore. So I leave you with that this morning. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.